Hey, I want to talk to you about gaps in your memory that you can't explain. Um, I have that. I don't know if you've ever tried to put a timeline together in your life, but if you tried and you found it extremely difficult to put dates and connect dots, uh, which is my experience, then I, it can get worse as you grow older. Even if you're you know, maybe you weren't safe at that time. Um, and that's a brain, the brain is wonderful. Um, you're made in three parts. There's your body, there's your soul, which is also your mind, and then there's a spirit that dwells inside you. So the mind or the soul um, is made wonderfully. It can help you get through traumatic events. Um, it's built to do that. And there's a lot of different reasons also why you might have gaps in your memory, concussions, and drugs. I'm going to say all three for me. Um, when I go in, I go all in. So, for me, there's trauma, concussions, and drugs involved, and I could not help myself. Um, I was not. I was. Uh, I'm a survivor. Um, I know that I'll use the word victim um, on this platform, but I really like trading that word in for a survivor because if you were a victim and you're still here and you're still seeking truth and you're a survivor. By the way, I was going to say I've been trying to weed people out um, to see to get so I could get to some meat um, with what I'm trying to do on this platform, and I'm thankful for this platform. So either you're a watcher or you are a truth seeker. And if you don't know which one you are, then you're a truth seeker. Okay? So for all you truth seekers out there, hang with me because sometimes it's hard to explain what I'm trying to explain. Um, but let's get back to the gaps in your memory. Um, I was asked to write a timeline, and I just, first of all, it struck, it hit me hard because somewhere in my mind I knew it's going to. I don't want to. I just don't want. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. You can't make me. Like little kid, you can't make me. But it was something that was worthwhile and something that taught me a lot about myself. Um, So maybe you can get with a professional and try to make a timeline. Um, if you're not shaky and scared and sweating at the thought of it, then just go ahead and make one yourself so you can just see how you've progressed. Maybe you want to start changing some things in your life. Um, but it took years and years for me to start uncovering truths that I was there, and I didn't even, it just poofed out of my head. Doctors call things like disassociation, you know, it just, in order to survive and to get up and to do what you have to do, um, your brain just takes that right away from you. And that's what I mean by, it goes into protection mode. Um, and that can be a good thing, but it can also hinder you later. So, so You know, I've been on a journey of trying to find truth for quite a while. Um, you know, there's a, it's like if I could, behind me, there would be like this giant cork board with, little pieces of evidence, and with each tack, I'd put a string, and it would just look like look like some kind of a crazy map, but all points lead home, right? Um, it's a journey. It's a journey. Um, I I found out that a lot of things I couldn't face at one time that I need to face now in order to move forward and to embrace who I am and to, to be comfortable in my own skin. Um, you can't go around. I personally have PTSD. I people were diagnosing me all kinds of stuff. I, they're the doctor, but no, that's I was in a waiting room and I was looking at some pamphlets. I love to read, um, and I picked up one and I didn't know what PTSD was. I and I just I knew it was an ailment, and I opened it up and I read through all the little pamphlets, and I said, this is what I got. This is exactly what I got. So by the time I was done reading that, and I knew that I was not going to allow any more labels to come at me and make me even more confused. Um, keep that pill for yourself. I need to focus on this. This is what's going on with me. I they someone called my name. I went right into this big office and sat across this big desk from this gentleman, and then I said, "Tell me a couple things about yourself." And I told him um, dirt raw truths that quick and to the point. And I said, "I have this." I said, "I have," and I was holding up the brochure. I said, I have PTSD," and and so I didn't want him to say, well, you're bipolar, and you're this, you're antisocial, and you're personality number 27-4. You know, yeah, I found it. And he said something amazing to me. Actually, he said, on behalf of all men in the world, I just want to apologize to you. And it, I said, it's okay. I mean, what do you, and I said, I guess I'd read somewhere about it coming back, coming up, and coming out of you, and like maybe flashbacks and things like that. And he said it'll come up and it will come out, and I remember thinking, the hell if it fucking will, because I don't want. I'm, I'm good enough with this diet. I'm good enough. I found it. This is what it is. What can we do? I don't need it to come out. I'm cool with that. Let it go. But um I'll be 49 in a couple of weeks, and this last year uh, has things have been coming out um, in dreams. Sometimes you're just dreaming. You can't. Like I remember I was with a bunch of girls one time, and we were being spiritually fed by some spiritual leaders, and but we were all confined, and we couldn't escape an area. So um, we had some dice, and in this confinement, we were knowing that there's an enemy, and you know, 666, and we were playing dice, and like it kept coming up, 666, and we were just all in a panic, and we didn't. And when I was able to see this, one of the spiritual leaders, I said, what do you think about this? And she said, well, I think that'd be a pretty great score in Yahtzee. And so, I mean, right away, I was like, that's, I was ever thinking it. Um, the enemy is very sly. Gets you to worry about nothing when really it's just a Yahtzee. Um, so things have been coming up in my memory, and I'm trying to deal with them. I am a bit isolated for specific purpose. Um, uh, we won't get into that right now, but um, there are some things that I would rather just like I just want to be normal. But that's a fake word. There is no normal. There's no normal. Um, conspiracies do exist. They, in fact, a lot of times it's right in your face, right in your face, and that's a game. That's a game that the enemy plays. They put it in your face so that you can say, "Oh, that's probably not possible because I read that in the newspaper," or that's you just kind of you don't want to see it. As for eyes to see and ears to hear, I just do that, and eyes to see, ears to hear, a renewing of your mind, um, and think about what you're thinking about. Think about good things. That's how I began to heal. Excuse me. Um, well, the more I seek to find the truth, the more um, bad energy starts coming my way. It makes it very hard for me to explain. And if you're not a spiritual person, if you're not in the midst of being healed or trying to heal yourself, and if you don't know that there's some really dirty things going on behind the curtain, then you won't get it. But there are, and let's make them famous. Let's tell it like it is. But I'm still filling in gaps. I'd written a poem. I wish I had it. I can't find a copy of it. Um, I was in. I stay towards Women to Heal. I recommend that heal any way you can. If you're alone and you don't have any way to get any help, you can start healing yourself um, with what you're thinking about. Combat that bad thought with a good thought. Tell yourself you're safe. This is something. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. If you can put your hand on anything, okay, close your eyes and you can. This is called grounding. You this. It feels. It's hard and it's cold. Um, bumpy. Then the chair, flower feels silky and feels fake. Um, just Get yourself down, get your breathing normal. Um, some people go through trauma where they literally have gone into their hearts, and like yoga masters can actually, it's known that they can change their heart rate. I, when I was young, would go into my heart, and how I related that, it was like my heartbeat. I boom, 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 and I was taking action in, like, it was a castle, and it had a spiraling staircase. I was never going down; I was always going up. But every step, my, I went with my heartbeat, And I mean, that's whatever was going on. I don't know, but I remember being there a lot. I remember being in that castle, walking upward to the sound of my heartbeat. And when I had learned to connect, I'm still learning to reconnect with my body. When you go through hard things, you do disassociate. You become hyper vigilant. That's a big one. Don't You got to be aware of your surroundings, but you can't let that control you, um, because that can take you down. That can really take you down, because there are good people. There are good people. Not everybody's bad. There are heroes. There are strong people. There is a God, and you're not it. And you're allowed to call upon Him and ask for help. And He does send rescue. I have, gosh, I have so many stories, but you know, um, He sends rescue. Um, things take time. Sometimes patience. I really had to be taught patience. I'm not a very patient person. I'm like now, 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 and it tears me apart. But it's like I'm clay on the potter's wheel, and you know, how do you have, like, or do you know anyone who has, they have dishes for everyday use, like, hey, spaghetti's ready, um, grab the grab the plastic plates and put a paper plate on top so we don't have to wash them. Use the Kool-Aid cups. And then there's ones for holidays. And then perhaps there's even fancier ones that, you know, from your uh, from your wedding, you know, wedding glasses, you know. So there's like these levels of dishes, and it's like being on the potter's wheel, you're being molded into something. Now, you can be useful every day, which is wonderful, because that's great. I always reach for a Kool-Aid cup. I mean, but there are some things that the potter will make um, for everyday use and for special use. So, if your time hasn't arrived, um, maybe it could be both. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I do know that healing is always possible. Um, and if you can't get help from anyone, which you should, um, then think about good things. Think about anything that is good and worthy, and of good rapport. And if anything has value, think upon those things. Um, I went through maybe a year. My timeline that's a hard one for me, but I couldn't think of one good thought, and I tried desperately, and I thought, then I said, oh, Jesus sandals. Um, I bet they were cool. I bet they were made good. I mean, because he walked everywhere he went. Um, I bet that they had the imprint of his foot in it. I bet they were made with strong straps, you know. I tried to pick, that was my only, that was what I went to. That was the only thought that I could come up with um, for to take, replace the bad one, replace whatever was happening. So get a happy thought. Where's, oh my God, I can't believe it. Where's your happy place? You know, well, you got to think about what you're thinking about because it becomes who you are. And I know that 99.9% of you don't want to be constantly hyper vigilant on, are you under attack, or, or always entertain negative thoughts. You know, that's just that it takes me to such a bad place. It's real quick downward spiral. Um, so I encourage you to give yourself a break. Know that you have gifts. Know that you're the only you, and that you are so important. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody says, you are essential to the world. And let's begin to um, find out what part we're going to play. Um, like destiny, it's like, I know I was born for such a time as this, but what do I do? What do I do? Well, guess what? It's not going to come shooting down from the sky. Okay, it's not. It's just you might you maybe you're a prophet. You can hear do this, do that. Um, but even a prophet's life was very hard. I mean, Jonah. I mean, he was like, "No, God, I'm not going to do it." He tried to run. He took off. He's jumped on a boat, and the storm, and he finally was like, "Just throw me in the water because it's my God that's doing this." And the whale swallowed him and spit him right where he's supposed to go. We can just let's do what we're supposed to do. Stop going around that mountain over and over and over and over. Um, find your destination by doing the next right thing. If you are feeling bad, I guarantee you that if you help someone else, you will feel better. I guarantee you that it's the natural order of things. There's always somebody worse off than you. Always help, and it's not your business who it is. And you may not even you might look at someone and say, "Well, you're going to help them. They're not worse off." What do you know? If you've got someone on your mind, reach out and help that person. Maybe that's why they're on. Maybe that's why you're thinking about them. It's hard to ask for help, but yeah, learn to ask for help. It's hard to feel safe if you are not used to feeling safe, but you can be safe, and there are good people. There are good people. I promise. I promise. Um, do not believe everything you read. Do not believe everything you see on TV. The enemy is in plain sight, and that this battle is really it's it's with yourself right now. This is just pick a good thought. Learn how to meditate. You can read something good. Whatever you put in is going to come out. So if you're putting in a bunch of junk, it's going to come out. Um, I know this for sure. Um, I'm on a holistic healing trail for myself and to break some generational curses. Um, and, you can join me. Um, there are tools. There are tools to use. And this world is losing it. Um, losing it, you know, it's pretty crazy out there. But know that there's a lot of sane people and that it doesn't matter what country you're in, doesn't matter what color you are, that you're loved. I mean that we are one. We are one. If aliens came down and invaded right now, it's us against them. You know? So let's stop fighting amongst ourselves. Um, the bad guys, their time is very, very short. Um, and I just pray that the enemy will get so confused that they will literally defeat their own selves because they're that confused. I just send confusement into their camp so that they kill kill their own selves because we're tired of being confused. We're tired of wondering what's going on. We're tired of all this bullshit. Um, there's a God and you're not it. And you're not it, president. You're not it, government. You're not it, Satan. You're not it, the one who's trying to control me, or you. It's nobody. I think the finest people I've ever met have gone through traumatic circumstances, and it has built them into the most wonderful light, the most usable. Some things are for everyday use, and some things are for special use. I want to be of use. I got a story to tell. But I got other things that I'm trying to work on because I know that in order to be healthy, I have to get out of my own crap and I have to help someone else. And that makes everything's inverted. It's like if you feel horrible, go and help somebody who needs some help and watch and see what happens. You you get healing just from that. And there's always an opportunity to help. It doesn't have to be any big major calamity. You can help people. So, say a nice word to somebody. Tell somebody you care about them. Tell somebody they're doing a good job. Tell them flowers. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Carry water. Give water. Stay strong. And know that every little thing's going to be all right. I've been assured of it. I believe it. I can believe enough. If you can't believe right now, I'll believe enough for both of us. Um, everything is as it should be. There's uh, there's a God that will move a king from the left to the right as he pleases. And it's not up to us to keep questioning, but why? But why? Because 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 he's got a plan. And what matters is what you're doing in that time of wait and that time of experiencing anxious feelings. Um, fight that, man. Don't fall on your sword. Get your shield. You got a shield. Use it. Um, I don't know. I lost you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it off right now. Um, but know that you're loved and know that you're not where you're supposed to be, but thank God you're not where you used to be, right? Hang tough. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not, and there are good people and good people in good places that can do good things to help. And I'm trying to do the best I can. Coming at you like this, but you're loved, you're good, you're beautiful. It's all good. Um, I know it feels like sometimes it's not, but rest assured that there's a God and you're not it. So pick a good thought. Find a place that nobody can disrupt. You can be happy, but it doesn't last. Peace is lasting. Joy, they can't steal that stuff. You can't steal my joy today. You can't steal my peace. Okay? So, sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad. Feelings are just feelings, dude. Just we feel it and then just know that it's just a feeling and let's change that feeling. Okay? So, all right. Well, I bid you farewell and do a good job of reaching out a helping hand to someone, and it'll move you up a notch. I promise it really will. Sometimes your time. What's precious to you? Is it money? Is it time? Is it I don't know. Subscribe. Subscribe if you liked any of this. If you didn't, I hope it helped you and ciao. See you. But all right, I think that's about all I have to say today. Um, Still got a lot going on here, but we'll just leave it on a good note and know that everything that you've experienced is building you up to the person that you are supposed to be. So rejoice in that. I do. I mean, I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I can't stand it when people like hear my story and they say, "Oh my God, I feel so bad." I'm like, I feel bad for me. I feel bad for you. I have lived an adventure, and I can laugh about some of it, most of it, all of it if I want to. But my goal is to try to contribute to the world to make it a better place. And today it's a better place. Today is a good day, and I just send out blessings and good vibes to you. And be kind. Don't pay attention to the outward appearance. You may think somebody doesn't need help because they look like they have it all together. If they're always looking like they have it all together, they probably need some help. Yeah. So I think that's it. I, well, thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you soon. Okay.